During the Labour Day celebrations, President Museveni advised Ugandans to tackle the hard-hitting economic times by adjusting their ways to more frugal economic behaviour.
You are crying that there is no wheat. I don't eat bread myself. If there is no bread, eat mogo. Mogo is here.
But Museveni's call may be the opposite of what his government is planning, considering the 2022-2023 financial year budget proposals. The budget is planned to be worth 47.2 trillion shillings.
Because if you have to look at example budget for fuel alone has gone up by 40%. So any accounting officer who's running a budget that was made 1 year ago, if you had budgeted for 400 million for fuel, you now can already see that you have to scale down your trips because your budget can no longer support the number of liters you intended to use.
However, economists Dr. Fred Muhumuza and Francis Muhire argue that government should look into its consumptive expenditures on travels as well as entertainment, among others.
Even if you look at the national budget, today we are supposed to be allocating more resources, to sectors like health, education, and agriculture, where most of Ugandans are actually employed. But we've seen that since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, the government has not adjusted its spending, its spending behavior. We still spend on non-productive sectors.
Spendings like motor vehicles, if you wanted to buy new motor vehicles, if you can still use the one you have as we adjust into the new environment, try to do that. Of course, I know many of them will say the old vehicles are very expensive to maintain. So we want to remove the fleet and bring in new ones. But bringing new ones is still going to be an elevated budget compared to the maintenance budget.
You have 200 billion shilling for special meals, feeding people who are already salaried. You have money for transport, for seminars, for workshops, for newspapers, for everything. We are not behaving as a country we are not behaving like people who are in a crisis. And that has formed the mind of those who made the budget for this and next financial year.
To them, the savings can be used to subsidize essential commodities whose prices are now out of control.
It's high time the government looks at actually subsidizing these goods. It's not Uganda that will be the first country to subsidize, let's say, prices. Other countries have done it. Talk of UK, talk of, for example, Kenya yesterday, where the president announced 12% increment in the minimum wage. So there's always a solution that can be done by the government.
What the president is not addressing are the essential commodities for the average Ugandan, including those who live in the villages: soap, salt, paraffin. So these things are consumed by the less privileged in society. You can remove taxes. You can also, because you see, if the war in Ukraine is part of the problem, you suspend some of the taxes, the duration of the war.
For now, Ugandans can only hope that the government will intervene to ease the pressure on their wallets. Herbert Ziwa, NTV.